A former personal assistant to Sean Diddy Combs will return to the stand today after telling a court that she was repeatedly abused physically and sexually by him.
She's identified only as Mia. Yesterday, she called her work environment chaotic and toxic, yet exhilarating. Her testimony applies to Diddy's racketeering conspiracy counts, not his sex trafficking counts. Combs faces life in prison if he is convicted. Joining us now to discuss his legal analyst, Areva Martin. Good morning, Areva.
Good morning, Laura and Dan.
So, Areva, tell us what we learned from Mia so far.
Yeah, Mia gave explosive testimony yesterday. She was an assistant for Sean Combs for many years. She testified that she witnessed the violence against Cassie Ventura, that she also was ordered and directed to help Sean Combs set up these sites, these hotel sites for the so-called freak-offs that we've heard so much about. She testified about having to go into hotel rooms and clean up after these freak-offs, including cleaning up oil, baby oil, blood, water, and she described the scenes as being just nasty. She talked about physical abuse that she suffered at the hands of Sean Combs, including being raped on multiple occasions by him. So she was a really important witness for the prosecution in that she buttressed and corroborated much of the testimony that we heard from Cassie Ventura, as well as some of the testimony we heard from the stylist, Deontay Nash. So a very important witness for the prosecution as they continue to try to build their case for racketeering, sex trafficking, conspiracy, and transportation of sex workers across state lines.
Can you remind us where the trial stands at this point? Is it getting close to being wrapped up here, or are we still looking at another couple of weeks?
Well, what we know, Dan, is that the trial judge has been pretty adamant about this trial going to the jury before or on around the 4th of July. So we are ending the month of May. The prosecution probably has at least a couple of more weeks left in terms of the presentation of its case, at which point then the defense would begin its case. So the defense could start as early as the first or second week of June. And from all accounts, we are still on track to have this case to the jury by the 4th of July.
Areva, I think when some people hear the testimony of Mia, they think, okay, well, this sounds like, also such an abusive relationship, too, in terms of, sex trafficking and also potentially some other charges that might come to mind as well. How does this relate to the racketeering charges?
Well, what we know about the racketeering charge is that the crimes cited in the indictment include arson, drug violations, bribery, obstruction of justice, and acts of kidnapping. We did hear Mia testify about what she knew regarding the Kid Cudi arson charge. And again, a lot of people are scratching their heads, says, well, the prosecution didn't prove that Sean Combs actually set the fire in Kid Cudi's car, but that's not what is required under the racketeering charge and the conspiracy charge. As long as he was involved in planning, orchestrating, directing the arson that occurred with respect to Kid Cudi's car, that would be enough for the racketeering charge. So not clear what additional evidence the prosecution will be putting on, but so far, I believe they put on substantial evidence both to buttress their racketeering and their sex trafficking charge.
Areva, we appreciate your insight. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Areva.
Thank you.